Weddings-ish, 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 with Jove.
Well, hello, and thank you so much for tuning in to Weddings-ish with Jove, a podcast all about love, joy, and weddings-ish with a special guest each episode. This episode, I couldn't be more excited to be sitting down to chat with Taylor Hastings from the latest season of Love is Blind, Season 8, who is also a registered nurse. And you've had not one, but 2 weddings. We have so much to talk about. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm happy to be here, Joe. I'm excited to talk. Let's do it.
Yeah, I can't wait. So I guess your love story is so beautiful. I first just have to say thank you so much because you gave that season the heart that I think it needed.
Aww.
You and Daniel, obviously
Sweet.
It takes 2.
Thank you. Yeah.
How did you decide to audition for the show? Or did they find you?
Yeah, I got a DM on Instagram from a casting producer. And to be honest, I was like, I'm getting trafficked or this is spam. Like, there's no way I'm going to entertain this situation. And then on the other half of it, my dad had been diagnosed with a type of cancer shortly before. So my brain was just not even in the mental capacity of dating at that point. And so I kind of like deleted the message and kept on with life. And that same week, one of my friends called me and she was like, hey, this producer reached out to me, but I'm not single, so I'm not going to do it. But I told him about you. He's like, yeah, she won't respond to my messages. So she said, like, why not just submit your stuff? Like, if anything, it's a distraction from your dad's process. And so I just figured, why not? And sure enough, like every round, it was like, yep, you're through. Yep, you're through. So it just like all really was meant to be.
It lined up that way because they also approached Daniel, right? He didn't apply either.
Yeah. Correct.
That's so wild. So both of you just living your life, doing your thing, and then strangers slid into your DMs and decided to change your lives.
I mean, I think that, Minneapolis really isn't like a huge city per se. So they were reaching out. I mean, they were on people's LinkedIn sending messages for casting. Like, they were looking to dig up as many people as they could. So I'm not really surprised that we both were approached just because they needed the options to choose from.
Have it.
So,
I love that. And were you familiar with the show? Had you seen it before you were on?
Oh, yeah. I had watched it religiously.
So a big fan.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm my guilty pleasure is reality TV, so I watch it all. I watch it all, honestly.
I'm right there with you.
I was very familiar. Yeah.
And so you all filmed in March of 2024, or February of 2024.
February to mid-March
of 2024, and then literally you keep your whole relationship a secret for a full year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, they told us you can wear your rings after the fact, but if people asked us directly, like how we met, we had to have a cover story. So
what was your cover story?
We met on a blind date.
It wasn't, still the word blind was in there.
Lie to people. Yeah. So if people pressed enough, I mean, they could have figured it out. I didn't really have much more than that figured out in my brain of the cover story. So.
You're like, we met on a blind date and we got married, and that's it.
Yeah. So we obviously lived together and we did all of life together, but we couldn't post on social medias. We couldn't follow each other on social media. In that sense, like publicly, it was very much a secret for a year, which it was like torture at times.
Yeah.
But also, I'm so grateful for that period of time because we really like had that quietness before the world suddenly had an opinion on
everything
our lives
about
and everything we do.
Yeah.
Which is very jarring, even though you know it's coming. I don't think anyone can prepare you for that until you go through
it hits
yourself.
you.
So
yeah. So suddenly you're like living your life. I feel like it's got to be very lovely to have a relationship without social media at some point. Just the two of you figuring each other out, no cameras, no, crew following you around, no producers.
Yeah.
And then from there, it goes live on TV in 2 drops plus the reunion. And then you just see your social media go wild, or what is that? how do you prepare for that? Do you take time off work? Do you I just feel like that has to be so overwhelming.
Yeah. I didn't take any time off work. My coworkers were such a huge support system for me.
Yeah.
They, obviously I was gone for 3 weeks while filming the pods in Honduras, our getaway. And then I came right back to work while we were filming in Minneapolis leading up to the weddings as well. Yeah. Which was it was a lot at the time, but my coworkers, so they obviously knew what was happening in my life and they were such a huge support system for me. Yeah. So working with them then when it came out and they knew me personally and they saw what the public had to say, they just kept reminding me of who I was. And the people that know and love you know who you are, but that first drop of episodes, they leave off on the cliffhanger of me confronting Daniel.
Yeah, so I remember very well.
Yes, the amount of hateful messages that I received, it was really hard for me, but surely with time, as people saw more episodes and saw that we worked past it and we're happy, and then we obviously get married, it's been an overwhelming amount of joy and love since that first drop. Yeah.
Sure, but viewers went on a roller coaster with you, and in the lows, they were low. They were below the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drama was real. It's such an interesting season because from the jump, you two really, on your first date, he got down on a knee. Yeah. I mean, what? Tell me about that. That's wild.
Yeah, it didn't make the final show, but what happened actually just before going into that date is we were standing in the hallway, and we would wait to hear a voice come over the intercom saying the pods are open. So that meant we could enter the pods.
Okay.
So we were waiting to go into this date. Day 1, you date everybody. So it's 10-minute speed dates. There's 16 men and 16 women. So it was a very chaotic but exciting, euphoric day.
Yeah. And what date was he Daniel, for you?
He was 12 for me.
Of 16?
Yeah. Of 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were that excited after 11 other dates that,
Everybody was everyone was on a high. Yeah. We were all so excited to be there and so excited about the possibility of what could come of it and meeting our person. So I would say that was a peak moment of the whole experience, was just when we all got there. No one had left yet. Everyone was best friends with each other.
Yep.
So I was standing in the hallway and I looked at Meg, who was next to me, and I said, I have a very strange feeling about this next date. And it was Daniel. And so I walked in. I didn't say that about anybody else. And I walked through the door and the first thing he said is, so are we getting married or what?
Yeah, I know. It was so wild.
I said, are you on a knee? And so he proposed within 20 seconds. So also, so many of those moments, there was a lot that viewers didn't get to see as well, of more moments like that for us where it was this is undeniable. How do we, as crazy as this all sounds on paper, which believe me, I'm aware.
Yeah.
Things like that just kept bringing me back down to earth. I cannot walk away from this connection. Why am I fighting it?
Yeah, it was just so strong. From the editing, it felt like you didn't really date anyone else, but I'm curious from a production standpoint, is that the case, or do you still have to continue to talk to multiple men?
So who you decide to continue dating is completely up to you. At any point, you can end things with someone and only focus on one person. They didn't show it, but I dated Dave actually for a very long time. Yeah, he was
really
still in the mix.
Oh. Dave was quite popular.
Until I don't know, maybe 3 days before. Time is not even really a thought in there. 1 hour was 1 month in all of our brains.
Yeah.
So anyway, I dated Dave, and then I dated a guy named Scott who wasn't really featured much.
Yeah.
But the three of them I dated, but Daniel was also dating other women. Hello.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. But we don't get to see that. So obviously that's the whole point of it. But okay, so who was he dating?
He was dating Vanessa and Kylie.
Okay, got it.
Who I adore both of them.
Yeah.
I still think it's funny to give him grace.
To think about that. Of course. One, you're excuse me, you got down on a knee and now you're talking to other women. How dare you?
Yeah,
I love
both
that.
Both of us just always knew that it was each other. Regardless of the other dates we were going on, the connection was just not even close.
I mean, right away you had so much in common from talking about kids, like right off the bat, him sharing about his sister right off the bat, and you both, the candor you expressed was like unfiltered and like just joyful. I have no other way to say it other than like I rewatched it and I was like, there's just so much joy in that beginning of a relationship where you're like giddy for a person. And you could, it was palpable through the TV. You could really feel the love that you both had for each other.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. I don't have any corrections.
Yeah,
on that,
I love that. So I'm curious, after 6 weeks of dating, you got married. Is that the time frame that the show is?
Yes.
And what does an average day look like? This is like a sound stage where the dates happen. You go to a hotel at night. Like, what does your day look like if you could walk me through it?
Yeah. So we each had our own hotel rooms. And we'd get ready in the morning. I'd probably wake up at like 6:30ish.
Okay.
Breakfast was at 8, technically. They bring us down to breakfast. And then they would shuttle us to the soundstage where we filmed the pods. And
men and women are different hotels, obviously.
Different hotels, different opposite sides of this massive soundstage.
Okay.
So they were very, very particular about like when you could go to the bathroom just to keep you as separate as possible.
Sure.
And it was very impressive. Like they have it figured out for sure. And then we would film. There was a thing called day dates where you're there during the day, obviously. And then night dates were an option most of the nights. And that was, if you wanted to continue, you could go on more dates at night later.
Okay.
So we would like put on pajamas and then we would film more dates into the night. And so sometimes we were there until like 2 a.m.
Wow.
Going on dates. Yeah. But I mean, all of us were like so down for it.
Yeah, that's why you're there.
If you're there to find your person, why would you not want to get every second you can out of it to make sure that that's your person?
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah.
And are you in a pod? Is there camera and crew in the pod, or it's all remote cameras?
So most of the pods have cameras like mounted on the walls with no crew behind it. But there was a few pods that had like a little glass partition and they had someone working a camera, which you wouldn't really even notice until like they sneezed or something.
And you're like, oh, I forgot. I'm not alone in this room. Yeah.
Like, here I am pouring my soul out.
Yes.
To the person through the wall.
And you had the audacity to sneeze.
Yeah. Roger sneezing through the glass partition. No, we bless them. They worked so hard. Everyone on the crew was amazing. So nothing but pleasant things to say. But yeah, so you kind of, I feel like it was an unspoken thing that if you were on a date in the room with the actual crew, that it was like somewhat important that they wanted really good footage.
Sure.
Of your connection in particular. Yep. So it was always and then like the day we got engaged, you were in one of those pods with a crew actually there.
Got it. So they could get different angles and be a little more agile. Did you feel a sense of pressure with a crew there and with like the whole objective of the show? Like any additional added pressure to have a successful relationship, to fall in love? Or were you just following your own feelings and like they disappeared, or how did that work?
Yeah, they were so well hidden in that pod, aside from like a sneeze or a bag of chips opening or something. Like I honestly didn't even notice them. Yeah. And so the pod portion, I kind of forgot that I was even on a show.
Yeah.
I always I told myself, like, if I'm not here for an engagement or a proposal, like if I don't feel like it's right, I will be fine going home.
Yeah.
Without that wasn't my objective. Yeah. So, I just kind of went with the flow and the connections that I was forming. And obviously Daniel was there. So there was a moment where I thought maybe I would have to leave the show.
Like early
then
on?
Daniel said he would. It was like halfway through, I would say. We were, it was only because now I knew that they were trying to, there was a breakup happening while I was about to do an interview, and they wanted to do that exit interview for that participant. And so we're not really supposed to talk about things. So they didn't want us to be together, which was all that was happening. But my brain went worst case scenario. My dad's sick at home. Like something's happened. I'm going to have to leave.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really know any details of what was happening at the time. So
with your father, there was no communication.
No, we didn't have any devices. There was no communication for the 3 weeks that we were gone. So when we were deciding about Honduras, I told them, like, I need someone to reach out to my mom and make sure that everything's okay for me to go even further away from home.
Yeah.
And they did that, and he was fine. So then I decided to go to
You're
Honduras.
Like, we can do this. So you have so many beautiful dates. On the second date, you lost your voice. Like, it was so iconic.
That was actually 3 days long. 3 days.
3 days of that. Oh my gosh. It was like so wild. And then you both journaled about each other, literally without knowing it. And then you discovered your mutual love for Christmas. I mean, if it's like, it's literally, this is like a rom-com out of a movie. The two of you, your journaling, your love for Christmas, your candor, it really is just like so beautiful. And I'll quote him. He said, "I'm a big fan of Taylor," on like your second or third date, which is wild. Like, that connection just like is so surreal. How many hours are these dates? We get to watch 5-10 minutes of it, but how long are you on these dates for?
So the pod portion, they told us it was like over 100 hours of dates that you would have by the end of the pod portion, which is 9 days. So the longer you were there, and the longer you were there, the less dates you got. But that was only because you were the algorithm, you rank everyone, and then depending on how you rank each other, gives you the next set of dates for the next day. So the dates got longer, but you had fewer of them. So the longest date of Daniel and I's, I think, was 4.5 hours long.
Wow.
Just talking. Yeah.
And which one
is
was
so
that?
Refreshing.
Of course, that you can even do that with things to still talk about.
Right. And it on the outside world, again, it was like, the time of it all seems very short for a lot of people, and obviously, but until you experience it, like I said, every hour was a month. Like, in my brain, I don't talk to someone or lay the foundation like that with any romantic partner I've ever had.
Sure.
At least 6 months into a relationship.
Yeah.
So it was 9 days, but it felt way
like
longer
9 months. Yeah. No, it felt like a much longer time. And you talked about everything. You learned that your dad's name is Daniel also, you told him, which is so adorable and heartwarming. And I need to hear about your obsession with Taco Bell.
Oh my gosh, where do I start? We don't have enough time.
Can I see your tattoo? Is it really there?
You can, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's legit. So
the L's are gone.
I'm dead.
So shout out Taco Bell. Give me a new tattoo.
A new deal, a brand partnership. Come on, Taco Bell.
Yeah. I have one other tattoo now, but that was the only tattoo that I had. And, it was the only place I could get it that my mom wouldn't know about it, quite honestly.
For sure.
My best friend and she didn't have a tattoo either. She just looked at me and said, "Should we go?" And that's what I walked out with.
She did the lip as well?
No, she actually got like a legitimate tattoo of a Sacred Heart.
I think this is pretty legitimate, I have to say, Taylor. Like, I don't want to downplay your lip tattoo. Was it painful?
Honestly, no. It took like 3 minutes.
What?
It's so fast. I didn't have anything to compare it to, because I had never had a tattoo before. So it really wasn't that bad.
He said that if you got married, he would get a Taco Bell tattoo. And then you told him not to, but he said he wanted to get a tattoo. Did he end up getting a tattoo?
He does have a lip tattoo. Yep. So he is a huge Minnesota sports fan.
Okay.
And our Minnesota Vikings team, their like chant is Skål. It's like a Norwegian Viking Scandinavian chant for victory. So he has Skål inside his lip
as well.
It was like a fun partnership with the Vikings for a promo video. So yeah, he's got Skål.
Oh my gosh. So you both have lip tattoos.
We do.
It's just like too much. And then when he gifted you, or you gifted him the Christmas stocking, and then you literally already had the matching one at home.
Yeah.
Like the number of signs between the two of you.
Exactly.
Like, it just felt like it was so meant to be in so many ways that, and you kept saying, these are the nicest things anyone has ever said to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to hear more about, you fell in love with his heart and his words and the way he treats you before you ever saw him. But let's have a little Daniel brag moment. I want to hear like what were the key things that helped you fall in love with him blind?
Yeah. Our very first date. So we got our notebooks back from the pods after we had gotten home from filming, and we were probably married for like 4 months before I got mine back. So it was so fun to go back and read.
They take it away from you or they keep it?
Yeah, they keep it.
Oh, so you don't put it on the internet or just for like why?
What
are they going to do with it? They're just sitting there reading it, crying?
Yeah, we always left them on set when we would leave for the day. Yep. So I think, we just put them down one day and didn't realize that we wouldn't be needing them again. Yeah. So they sent them all to us after the fact. And so reading that back was so fun. But there are like very clear points that I have from my first date with Daniel. And the phrase, he kept saying, "I'm right there with you," when he would agree with something I was saying. Yeah. Or, there's so many other phrases I felt like that you could say, like, "Me too," or, "Same
or
here."
Ditto, or
Yeah. But to say, like, "I'm right there with you," just, I don't know, in this pod where you're by yourself in a city that you're not from and you're kind of isolated in that moment, like, for him to say, "I'm right there with you," just, it was very comforting to me. Yeah. And then he was always referring to his wife as the mother of his children.
Yeah, I remember.
And just that wording too, it was like, I dated a lot of guys who didn't even really know if they wanted kids before, which is fine. Like, everyone gets to decide that. But I for sure do want to have children. And so to not even have to like prompt that or change his mind to want to have kids.
He was so clear about it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And you were aligned about that.
In past relationships, wanted to like change their mind about something.
Of course.
And so it was so refreshing to not have to do that.
Yeah, to have someone who was so aligned with you. And then I'll never forget too, you had such an open conversation, vulnerable about both of your insecurities, which I feel like you didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you really let the world in a way that I'm sure helped many people that you know or don't even know, and for you to talk about weight as a woman and society, but then for Daniel also to talk about it as a man, which I feel like is less talked about, but doesn't mean it's less true, was really
for sure
beautiful for both of you to be so honest on camera about that.
Yeah, every day in the pods, they gave us like a prompt, like a whole sheet of questions. And it was like, hey, you are free to talk about whatever you want in here, but we have kind of come up with an idea of important things that you may want to talk about with your future spouse.
Interesting, to see if you're aligned on certain things.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Daniel and I took that very seriously. Like, we went through all of those questions, and some of them were like, what's your biggest regret in life? What's your biggest insecurity? Like, very heavy questions.
Sure.
So we just like dove in, and I think that's part of the reason, obviously, why it worked for us, is that we were very intentional with it, and we really did like take all the advice from production and all of the like passion that's been put into the show, because they really do like want you to find your person.
Succeed. Sure. Yeah.
So
I love that. So you really dove all the way in, and then on your 6th date, you wrote each other letters, and "I can't imagine my life without you, your pod partner for life." I mean, that quote got me like, what a charmer. I was like, Daniel, are you flirting with me? You know what I mean? Because he's like talking to you, obviously, but we're all watching him talk to us. And I was like, oh my gosh, just like so sweet. And that's, I think, when you said you love each other in that moment, which was like, so wild. And you didn't say it like in a, I love you back. It kind of like fell out naturally, and then I think you called him out for it. But had you been wanting to say it? Were you waiting to hear it? Like, do you believe in those sort of like traditional gender roles, or how did that moment unravel for you?
Yeah, it wasn't so much like the gender role part of it, but obviously, like, it is a big moment in any relationship, in the pods or out of the pods. And I didn't want to say it because of the show part of it. Like, I wanted to say it when our time was right. So I was asked in an interview before that date from my producer, like, are you in love with Daniel? And I said, like, I want the first time I say those words to be to Daniel.
I love that. To you.
In this interview.
Sure.
Yeah. Which I loved her dearly, but it was such a special thing that I didn't want to say it until I was with him. So, it was just the right time and the right place.
Yeah, I love that. It was really so sweet. And then I needed you to pick me up. I'm ready for you to be my fiance. Will you marry me? I mean, it was like the sweetest, most casual yet emotional proposal. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It really felt like you two were meant to be together. Like, it really like gives you hope in love and in these shows, and that like anyone can find someone even in the most unlikely of scenarios.
Yeah, it's special for me to hear that like that was the take from a viewer as well, because I felt that way.
Yeah.
And I have had nothing but heartbreak when it came to love previously. And so, but I was always like, I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to give in to just for the sake of having someone. So I was hoping to be an example for other younger people that are like, oh, I'm 28 and I don't have anyone. Like, I'm going to be single forever. Like, that love that you dream of, it does exist, and it's out there.
Yeah.
And you just have to be patient.
And it seems open, because this doesn't seem like a thing you were looking for or going to do. And then here you are, like leaving your nursing job and filming a reality show and then actually finding love.
Yeah.
It's really so wild. Special. And then I guess the actual proposal. So the third time he got down on a knee was with the ring. And he said to you, I'm the luckiest person in the whole world. And then he said, I knew it was you after the first date. I mean, I was like, come on, Daniel. You're setting the bar so high for everybody else out there, like, and anyone else coming next. Like, he said he knew from the first date. When did you know you wanted to marry him?
Well, I always say that I knew before we even went on our first date, when I looked at Meg and I said like, I have a feeling about this date, you know, and I didn't say that about any of the 11 before him.
Yeah.
And just like the flow of that date, like I had other good dates, but like, it was just so effortless.
Yeah.
And they told us like, try to not reveal who your number one is for your rankings. Like, because it
to the women or to the men that you're dating?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was intentional about that, but for some reason, when I was on that first date with Daniel, up until that point, I was like, again, good dates, but nothing like that one. And so I was like, I think you're my number one. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not supposed to be saying that.
I'm breaking all the rules for you.
Yeah, but so we both ranked each other number one from day one, and that had never happened in the history of the show.
Wow.
Yeah. So Lauren and Cameron from season one.
Yep.
Adore. I think we were told they started ranking each other number one on day 2. But
which is Daniel reasonable also. Yeah.
Yes, right. But we had picked each other on day 1 and it never wavered.
It never changed.
On, so.
And when you say picked, like there's like a list that you give to a producer, like you're actually ranking, or in your own mind?
You actually rank and then you give that list.
Oh my
gosh. And then based on, they take all the lists from both sides. And
Sure.
There's an algorithm of who matches with what.
And who gets to date with who. So you're on this perfect dream, this fairy tale. We're all following along. And then literally the cliffhanger, the drama that you mentioned. I want to hear from you. Like, what were you getting in your own way? Were you super afraid? Did you really feel like that felt genuinely like you were at a crossroad? Yeah. And so I want to talk about Instagram Gate, because it felt really like a big moment that we were all, I feel like there's two sides. Some people were like, oh, she didn't find him attractive and she's trying to find a way out. And other people were like,
that aged well.
I'm sure. I have no doubt that that's, and I don't want to perpetuate that. But the other is like, no, I really love this man and we fell in love. But if it's not based on truth, I can't pursue it. So from you, I'm curious.
Definitely. So many things. So he looked familiar when I met him in person.
Yeah.
And Minnesota is, like I had said earlier, not a very big town. Like somehow everyone has a connection to everyone through mutuals or something. So it wasn't, also a little bit of background. I knew who Joey was through the pod. We went to the same college. He was a couple years older than me. So on day one, he's talking and he's telling me his job. And I'm like, oh, I know exactly who you are.
Yeah.
So I went to production and I said, hey, I know what Joey looks like.
Yeah.
Like, we went to the same school. And so we were kind of like removed from each other's dating, but and it was like, just don't share with the other girls that you know what he looks like. And so I didn't. So already knowing that I knew someone,
that planted a seed that maybe I was like, other people.
It's not impossible.
Yeah.
Because I did it myself. Anyway, so then when he looked familiar, I kind of started to spiral. And I got back to my hotel room and it's quiet and I'm just like racking my brain, like, do I know him? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to production, thinking like verbalizing all my thoughts. And there was someone who had their phone with them and asked for his name and did scroll and gave me a look like, and said, oh, girl, like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm right. This has confirmed everything that I'm thinking, which I genuinely don't think that it was intentional, but like just that little snippet. I didn't see what was on the phone. I didn't, I don't have any proof of what was happening there, but that interaction, I was like, I am so right.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I came into that conversation, very confident.
Yeah, you felt validated, I'm sure.
I knew I was right. Yeah. And so then I came into that conversation and it was so scary for me because I was like head over heels for this man.
Yeah, he just proposed and you said yes, for sure.
The whole point, I got this comment a lot, was like, why would it even matter if he knew what you looked like? And it's like, we went on a show called Love is Blind. Like,
that's why.
The whole purpose is that you fall in love without physical attributes being a part of it. And like, I'm not like tooting my own horn, but I know that I've
gorgeous.
Been approached because of my looks before.
Sure. Yes.
And so I just didn't want it to be a part of it at all. So
it's not what you signed up for.
Anyway. Yeah. So that was scary for me to think that like that was compromised a bit. Anyway, I just like, I could recall like one mutual follower that we had. And so we had that conversation. I never looked at that. I deleted that followers app. Like, it was so bad for my mental health.
I think it's bad for everyone's mental health. I had it many years ago and I was like, what am I doing? And why do I care so much?
It was like weirdly addictive when I had it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're not alone. When you said that, I was like, oh, me too. But I don't want to say that out loud. But she just said that out loud. But like.
So yeah, I haven't looked at it since. I deleted it. But once we got our phones back, we did have that mutual follower. So like, I know that I probably saw his profile at some point.
At some way.
In Minnesota's Explore page. I don't know. But like, that name was still there, that mutual friend. So I don't think I'm like entirely crazy, but I definitely like went a little further than I thought I would have gotten to.
But you're also alone in your room with no friends, no computer, no phone,
your
no
brain
connection.
Goes crazy.
Like, you're just alone with your thoughts. Oh, you don't even get a TV?
No, we didn't have a TV. No.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just quiet.
All by yourself.
And I'm just sitting there eating my food and I'm like,
thinking,
overthinking.
Anyway, for sure.
So but we can laugh about it now.
You have to. And the beauty of your relationship is literally when you confronted him, he could have reacted so many ways, but you saw who he really was in his calmness, in his like, he's like, you need to explore what you need to explore and I'm going to be
Do whatever you need to do.
Yeah. I was like, Daniel, stop nailing it every single time. Like,
I still say to him to this day, I'm like, is anything wrong with you? Like, throw me a bone. Yeah. Like, I could have a laundry list of my problems.
You're like, can you just yell at me or say something bad so that we we can all feel better about ourselves?
Make it a wash.
But it really felt like they left us on a cliffhanger. And then when it all came back, it felt beautiful to watch you both deal with confrontation in such a healthy way, too. Yeah. It wasn't like you screamed or you yelled or you fought or he judged you. Like, it was like, we're both need to do what we need to do. And you came out stronger because of it, I feel like.
Yeah. Our relationship had been nothing but harmonious, honestly, up until that point. So for us to like cross a difficult conversation and move through it gracefully, I think spoke volumes as well.
Yes, 100%. And you were the first girl he ever brought home?
Yeah.
Did you feel that pressure, or were you sort of like, they're so lovely and it's fine?
I mean, I had a bit of a confidence about it. Like I was like, I know I'm pretty, like I'm a nurse. I take care of strangers all day. So I'm good with people. So I wasn't scared of that. I was more so like knowing that the looming, like, are we getting married at the end of this?
Yeah.
It's scary for any family to go into that,
of course.
you know, with the weight of the outcome. And they're still getting to know you and they're not comfortable with you yet. So more so like worried about that, but it went swimmingly. They're wonderful people.
It felt like you had known each other forever. Like your family, you just sort of blended right in with his siblings and the whole situation. And then your mom, it felt like took a little longer to come around.
Yeah.
Right? So, she felt left out. She felt like she wasn't part of it. I mean, I get that from her side too.
Yeah. Yeah. So a big part of my storyline that wasn't shown in the show was I was previously engaged.
Okay.
And so I was 2 months away from a wedding and called it all
the
off.
Show.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so we talked about it constantly throughout filming. And so I kept waiting for that to be part of the storyline.
Sure.
And when it was never included, I think it left a lot of context out for why my family maybe took a bit longer.
Why they were apprehensive. Because you were literally engaged 2 months prior. This gives like a lot of context.
This was 4 years ago, the prior engagement.
Yeah.
But, they had seen me engaged before and planning a wedding and like so excited. And then even though it was the right decision, like how broken I was after that.
Of course.
So they had picked me up before. And so they didn't want me to get hurt again.
No.
And so
no, not at all.
That's kind of the background of why my family was
where that was coming from.
Slow to pick up. But once I just kept saying, just meet Daniel, just meet him.
Yeah.
Obviously, like everyone fell in love with him.
I fell in love with him. Like, come on. Obviously, they're going to fall in love with him. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Give Daniel a chance.
Once they did. I mean, now he's like the favorite child. I come home by myself and they're like,
where's Daniel?
Like,
that's what my family says about my husband. And I'm like, they're literally like, you can't ever leave him because we'll pick him. And I'm like, wait, that's not how this works. A, it's not going to happen. But B, that's like not how this goes. Thank you so much.
Not at all. Yeah.
Well, that context is really important. You broke off the engagement.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mutual decision. We weren't each other's people.
It wasn't the right fit. But that's strength.
Yeah, it was the right decision.
That's a lot of strength at that point, 2 months before a wedding, to make that choice. Mm-hmm. But to choose you it's important, and you continue to do that. And your parents had been together 50 years when you had filmed the show?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So your example of love is like, that's incredible.
And also like, how unconventional the way Daniel and I were meeting and getting married. My parents being married for 50 years, they met in high school.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a lot to wrap everyone's brains around.
Of course.
So, yeah.
And I want
50 years and 34 for Daniel's parents. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So both of you have like exceptional examples of love and marriage.
Yeah.
No pressure, but like that you were obviously aspiring towards, which is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then your final date before the weddings, you went ice skating for your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Do you love ice skating, or do they sort of set those dates up for you?
I played hockey, so that was obviously like a fun date I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
Daniel did not, so he really wasn't excited about that. He's very athletic, but like skating had never really been his thing. So that it was like set up for us, but I was excited.
You were thrilled.
About it.
Yeah, it was like tailored to you.
It was in my element. Yeah.
I love that. And so then the wedding on the show, as a wedding planner, I have so many questions. How involved are you in the design, the decor, the flow of your wedding ceremony?
So we met with Slomeek, our wedding designer, probably, I want to say twice.
Oh,
maybe,
wow. Okay.
over Zoom while filming. So honestly, it's a bit of a blur.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure.
Because it was such a small part of everything. But we like gave color ideas and like the general theme that we pictured for the wedding.
Yeah.
We wanted a live band. That was for sure. Like, give us your non-negotiables that you really want to make happen. So we kind of gave her all that, and then the power to do whatever she saw fit. And but I think it was only like 2 meetings that we had. And of course, if we had questions in the meantime, we could reach out, but there was so much happening around us that it was kind of just like, once we showed up, we're like, oh, this is our wedding. Like,
here we are.
No idea what was
so
actually
you saw
happening.
It for the first time when you walked down the aisle.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. The greenery, the white,
beautiful.
the flowers. Like, it was very ethereal in the way that it was designed.
Yeah, she killed it.
She really did. And then we don't get to come along for the reception, but you have a full reception.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many guests do you get to invite, both of you?
We were limited to 40 guests each.
Oh, so 80 total.
80 total.
Oh, that's bigger than I would have thought.
I'm from, I have like 60 first cousins. Like, my mom's one of 8. Daniel's mom's one of 9. Like, we have massive families.
So this was hard for you.
That really, like, we had to really narrow things down. And we got married on a Tuesday afternoon. So people like had to get off work. And
it naturally trimmed your guest list.
Yeah.
And how did you decide that Rachel was going to sing you down the aisle? That moment, honestly, I was fully in tears.
Yeah. She is so talented.
That voice is like, can I download that somewhere?
I hadn't heard her sing. Yeah. I hadn't heard her sing until that day. And, you know, I knew she was a music therapist and she could play instruments and stuff, but I had never heard her sing, actually. So there's a point where we were standing at the altar and she started singing, and I looked at Daniel and I was like, wow, like she is really good.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, she is so talented, and Daniel's brother has gotten married since the show, and she sang at their wedding, and she sang again at our second wedding that we had. And so she's just so talented.
It really like took me back. I didn't realize you had never heard her. That's very trusting of you to let someone sing at your wedding before ever hearing them do anything. But that was like everything else in this journey. You took a jump and it has really worked out for you. So I want to hear about the second wedding. That just happened a few months ago. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
It was what, 400 people?
Just over 400. Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. Like I said,
people.
Our families are very big.
Yeah.
And so our family's alone. And then there were so many friends, and like, we wanted as much as the cast to be there as, because they weren't allowed to come to our weddings during like the Netflix wedding. So
I thought in past seasons there have been some cast members at some weddings.
They made exceptions a bit, but for ours, no one was able to
crossover.
Come. So,
I see.
Yeah. So we just wanted as many people that we loved and held dear to be there. And so everyone always says, like, your wedding day is you're in a room filled with the people you love the most. Yeah. And I experienced that a bit with our Netflix wedding, but like our second wedding was really like the day that I got to feel that way. And, it was really special. Yeah. So we did just a private vow renewal with just our immediate families.
Great.
And Daniel's dad actually like led that ceremony. And then Rachel sang, and we took a bunch of pictures because we didn't get any family pictures really.
From the Netflix one, there was no family photos.
Right. Yeah.
Because you don't do a
children
first look
on both sides of our family, and so they weren't there, and so we just wanted to,
of course,
have photos of everyone. Yeah. So, and then all of the guests then showed up after the vow renewal was over.
Got it.
So.
Well, they watched your wedding on TV, so they didn't need to have this. You needed something a little private.
Yeah.
So tell me about the party.
Live band.
Oh, really?
At the reception.
That's
that we
amazing.
Did for our Netflix wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, they're wildly talented, and everyone's still like, anyone who came to the Netflix wedding was still talking about them. Almost a year later, and so it was like a no-brainer.
You're like, we're gonna have these again. Yeah, for sure. And was it a full like 5-hour party, like a full wedding? It wasn't just like a.
No, people showed up at like, well, yeah, I guess it was. People came at 6:30, I think was the arrival, and the venue closed at 11. So yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. Did you have
speeches? It wasn't ever like a formal seated meal. It was like cocktail mix and mingle kind of. Yeah, like couches everywhere and food stations, but never like a sit down meal. Yeah.
But I feel like that's more fun, especially with 400 people Like,
I thought so. Yeah.
You trying to work the room and say hello to everyone at dinner with 400 people would be...
I can't imagine. It was already overwhelming.
Yeah.
In the mix and mingle. So yeah, the sit down dinner would have been a lot.
Did you have speeches?
We didn't, no. Daniel and I said something, but
yeah,
we did speeches for the Netflix wedding.
Sure.
And even though like viewers didn't get to see it, it was already like we did first dances, like father-daughter and everything.
All of those things. Yeah.
I felt like I already had all those things.
Yeah.
And so I didn't need a redo of any of that.
Yeah.
I just wanted, the big party with everybody.
The big celebration. I love that. Mm-hmm. I feel like even other couples who haven't been married on TV who want to have a big party and a more intimate ceremony, like, why not? It feels really special and beautiful that you can kind of have the best of both worlds.
Both worlds, for sure.
And also, I just wanted to check in on your father. How is his health?
Thank you. Yeah, he's good. He's cancer-free still.
Oh.
Yeah, he told us on camera that he had just gotten word that he was cancer-free while we were filming, but it wasn't included. So
got it.
He's been cancer-free since before our Netflix wedding. So yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
Yeah, I love that. I'm so happy that you guys bought a house. I mean, you're just living the American dream over here.
We bought a house. We have a dog now. So
living all the things.
Keeps moving.
I love it.
It's been like mainly exciting things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, we have a couple of questions if you don't mind.
Okay. Let's do it.
Let me pull these up. All right. I'll save that one for the end. As two people who both love Christmas and are close with family, how did you juggle the holiday season and balancing each other's family traditions and times? This is from Holly J. Norton.
That's a good question. Well, Holly, that was tricky, and it will just continue to be tricky, I think, for a bit. My family has kind of alternated in the past with Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Daniel's family has also kind of switched things around based on extended family's plans.
Yep.
And I kept reminding myself that like now Daniel and I are our own family too. Yep. And so we have to kind of do what's right for us as well.
Yeah.
So we were able to see both families. We did Christmas Eve with Daniel's family, and then we did Christmas Day with mine.
Smart, which is perfect.
So, yeah, luckily we are so blessed that we are within like an hour drive between both parents' houses.
Yeah.
So we can make it work. I know a lot of people aren't fortunate to live that close and have family that close. So luckily we do have that. And so I think in the future, we're just going to continue to figure out, you know, what days and where we go, and we have to drive back and forth in one day, we'll do it.
Yeah. But also I think starting your own traditions is super important. Like you're now a married unit, and
so true.
You both love this holiday more than anyone I've ever met. And it's so adorable, but like it's what you're going to build with your dog and then your future family and what you want it to be, which is so exciting.
Yeah.
Teresa Pruitt asked, did Taylor pick out the song she walked down the aisle to?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, Daniel's sister Rachel is blind, and so she can't read sheet music. Yeah. So it was a variety of songs that Rachel knows by heart, obviously, because it was a bit of a short notice for her to learn something new. And so Can't Help Falling in Love was one of the ones that she had. And honestly, like the lyrics, it's so fitting, like only fools rush in. And that's exactly what happened in our scenario too. So it was perfect.
It was honestly, I need the Apple version of that. I want to download it. I want to stream it. You have a big Rachel fan over here in addition to you and Daniel. Okay. Meredith Louis Pasco said, what do you love most about you and Daniel's story so far?
I just love how effortless it is. Like we truly are ourselves with each other, and like there is no filtered part of our relationship between each other, and we still like laugh so hard and find humor in the simplest things in life. So I think just how effortless it is. Yeah.
And you laughed through the whole season. Like it literally, you were always laughing together. It was like infectious, like the way you would always be laughing about something. It was adorable. There you go again.
Thank you.
I think we kind of talked about this a little bit, but Marla said, what control choices did they get to make at the wedding? What was set up for them with no choice? And what did they get to decide?
I would say like the layout of the day, the timeline, we had no say in any of it. We didn't have our phones either that day. They took them from us in the morning, so we couldn't communicate with each other.
At all.
So we had a code word if one of us got up to the altar and had changed our mind, so that the other person wouldn't be blindsided by what we were about to say.
But the code word, once you got up to the altar.
Correct. Because we couldn't talk. So we both were saying yes, but it was like, what happens in the 4 hours from now? I mean, it's a very high pressure situation.
Of course. So of course.
We're like, we should have some type of signal to each other.
What was your code word?
Standing there. So it was actually papaya, which I don't know how we
papaya? How are you going to work that in? Just papaya? I probably just would have like mumbled it or mouthed it to him, but it was the word that we told each other when we had to poop when we first met. Papaya.
That meant like
get out of the house.
That was like papaya. That meant like get lost for a bit. So that was our word, but I don't know how we would have figured that out.
I was going to say, like, what are you going to do? Be like, dearly beloved, we're gathered here today. Papaya. Like such a small world. What is a small world is your wedding officiant from Netflix. I was at a conference in Bermuda and he was the keynote speaker and he was talking about his life story and how he's like a wedding officiant with a travel business. And he's like, and I'm on this show you might know about called Netflix Love is Blind. And I literally was like, this is the smallest world that this man is on the stage.
That is in Bermuda.
In Bermuda. Crazy. I was like, what is happening? And we'll end with my favorite question. I don't think we have time for you to answer it in full. But question for Taylor. What are her top 50 favorite things about her husband?
Was that submitted by my husband?
Yes. Literally, when he submitted this question, I was like, stop it. I'm gay and I'm married and you're straight and you're married. Why are you so adorable? Like, come on. Why don't you give me 5? We have to entertain it.
I love how patient he is.
Yeah.
I love his humor.
Yeah.
I love his adaptability. I love his support.
Yeah.
And I love his love.
I love that. And I love how clear and confident you are. It's like sometimes people feel like the show is fake and these relationships aren't real, but you all feel like the real deal.
Yeah. Yeah, we get asked all the time. Like we were at the airport the other day and someone was like, "Oh, you guys are still together?" And it's like, what? Can you imagine saying that to a stranger about their marriage?
Absolutely not. No. I'm sure not.
Yeah, we're very happy and very fortunate that what a cool story.
Yeah.
And the thought of like having our kids be able to watch our story someday too is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Are you on that journey, thinking about that journey, talking about that journey?
You know, with this puppy, that journey has not been discussed. We just have so many fun events and like things going on, travel, like I'm 33, so it's also like something in the back of my brain, but I think we're going to give it like another year or two before we get serious about it. But in the meantime, we've got the puppy and we're traveling and
enjoying life. You're enjoying married life. You know what I mean? And you deserve that after everything you've done and everything you've shared with us. It's time for you all to just have fun.
Thank you.
Well, this has been such a joy. It's been so much fun. Thank you for your candor, your heart, for sharing your love story. Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. Your next colonoscopy. I'll also be there.
Yep. Wait, that's for men, right? And they say, when should you get your first colonoscopy? Everyone makes fun of me. Oh, men and women. Could you give us a PSA about colonoscopies before we go?
So average risk screening age starts at 45 years of age,
45.
unless you have a family history or if you have symptoms of any kind.
Yep.
So I've had 3 colonoscopies and I'm 33 for symptoms, and I have a family history as well.
Okay.
So it's a great test to have done. It's about 30 minutes long. They'll give you some sedation to relax you.
Yep.
And by eliminating or taking out the colon polyps that you can grow, that's what turns into cancer at some point. So by going in for your colonoscopies, we remove your risk of developing cancer down the road as well. So it's preventative. It's a hugely preventative test. Yeah.
So if you don't have family issues, 45 feels right.
45 is the recommended screening age based on all of the research that's been done.
Yeah.
And also insurance purposes. They usually don't cover
before
colonoscopies until that age. Yes, but certainly, like I've had 3, so you do have to pay a bit, but it's an important test to have done if you need it done. So
I love that. And no plans to quit nursing anytime soon and be a full-time content girly?
I've always said, like, taking care of others is in my bones. Like, it's just, like, in me. So I always plan to continue working as a nurse. Yeah.
I love it. Well, this has been such a joy. Thank you for spending time with us, and give Daniel a big hug from me. And now it's time for Ask Jove, where I answer your questions. Really, anything you want to know, feel free to ask me. I'm joined in studio with my dear friend Sloan for Ask Jove.
All right, Jove, our question for today. It comes from Rachel from Phoenix.
Hi, Rachel. My best friend's name is Rachel.
Besties. Yeah. Maybe this is actually her.
Just like sneaking in a question.
Yeah, why not? Okay. Rachel really wants to do a first look to get photos out of the way and calm her nerves.
Yep.
But her fiance is traditional and wants to have the first time he sees her to be at the altar.
Yep.
Is there a compromise there? What do you suggest?
I mean, I think this is very sweet that her fiance wants that like special moment. But I think now that I've been married myself, I can answer this. I actually am answering it the same way that I'll answer it before. Did you have a first look first?
We didn't. No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, so you saw each other first at your ceremony.
We did.
And do you regret that?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Did you, but you had a different setup too. You broke your day up. So you had like a longer day for photos.
Mm-hmm.
I think in a traditional setting, if you have a 6-hour party with a 5-hour bar, if you, like purely logistics, take emotions out of it. If you don't do a first look and you want all of your photos, family photos, couple photos, wedding party photos, maybe friend photos, you are now going to miss your cocktail hour. Mm-hmm. Not all of it, but
big chunk of it.
Big chunk of it.
Like 80% of it.
And for me, the cocktail hour flew by. We did a first look, but I still didn't, like, cocktail hour was over before. I hugged like one person and they were like, please find your seat for dinner. And I was like, no.
But I want a cocktail.
I want a cocktail. I want
mini
oyster. I want mini french. I wanted all of that. And it flew by and we didn't do any photos during cocktail hour. So I would say, if you think about the question differently, are you okay to miss your entire cocktail hour to take all of those photos? And are you okay to pull all of those people out of cocktail hour for all of those photos? And do you have a place where that can be done that is not cocktail hour or your reception? They're going to be putting the final touches on your reception, so you don't want to be in that room. And you don't want to be in cocktail hour because you'll never get any photos done, right?
Correct.
Everyone's going to want to hug you and see you and
it's
love
their first
bomb
time to see you.
Of course.
Yeah.
So those are the logistical things. But what I will say is I don't think, we did a ceremony rehearsal, which I was nervous to do, because we did it right before the ceremony, which is kind of like a first look, right? So I thought if I hear this song and we practice right before, it's going to diminish the actual ceremony, the weight of it. And I can confirm it did not. It actually was really helpful. Like, we did the ceremony rehearsal and our musicians sang all these songs and I bawled my eyes out for like 15 minutes.
You're like, I actually need to blot.
Uncontrollably. And I'm really grateful because otherwise I would have done that
in the ceremony.
I mean, you were there.
I mean,
I still
everyone
cried.
was crying.
We were all crying collectively, but I wasn't like
incapable of going on.
Yeah, like I was a little more composed. I wouldn't say I was composed. So all I'll say is if you do a first look, you're seeing each other, you're relieving a lot of pressure. And it's a really sweet moment. Like, just you, your significant other, your photo, your video, your content creator, but no family, no friends. It doesn't have to be cheesy, but like I've seen so many cute ones, even where they like reach their hand around the wall, where they pass a note, where they tap on the shoulder, where they knock on the door. But I think like it relieves that pressure and then you get all that time during cocktail hour back.
Yeah, you do. I really do think that having a moment to connect with your partner too pre-ceremony, like as you experienced, like you got to kind of go through all of that like overwhelm at the surface, right before. But you also go into your ceremony feeling even more connected as opposed to kind of feeling
distant,
that frazzled, what is this going to be like? What is it going to be like? you get to just like really be with one another.
And be together. Yeah. And it doesn't diminish it because your first look is in your room or it's outside. It's not where you do the ceremony typically. It's somewhere else. And if you then go do photos where you do the ceremony, again, no one's in the chairs. Mm-hmm. There's no music. The energy there's energy, but it's void of what will be happening in an hour or two. So I see both sides, but I think you just have to have an honest communication. Mm-hmm. Do you want that moment more than you want to join cocktail hour?
Right. And also thinking of like herding cats.
Yes.
Getting all of your family members and friends, like unless they know where to go.
Yes.
You are going to be spending more time just standing and waiting for people who may not have gotten the cue.
Correct.
That it's time to go.
And then you might get frazzled. And if you're outside and it's sunny and his hair and makeup still there, it's like all these little things that add up to a big thing.
For sure.
But we did it, it's whatever the couple wants. I'm biased. I say do a first look. But if it's in your heart and you're like, I don't want to do one, I think that's very romantic. But I just want you to think through what that means on the back end. And that family wrangler, that family herder is going to be key because all your family and friends want to go to the bar. They want to drink. They want to see their friends. Mm-hmm. And you are taking them away from all of that. So you have to have a plan. So like if right after the ceremony, all the guests leave, but the family remains, then maybe you could knock out those photos really quick. But I just don't want you to think you're going to kind of get everything.
Bypass all of it, yeah.
Because even we did our first look. We did the ceremony. We went upstairs for like 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Got a hair and makeup touch up because I cried the whole time. And then we ate our sample of our food. And that felt like an hour and it was 10 minutes. Right. And we still, I feel like, missed cocktail hours. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I also think like regardless of when you see your partner for the first time that day, it's going to be amazing.
100%.
Regardless of when it happens. Yeah. So just kind of prepare yourself for the magic of the moment.
Yeah.
And take it whenever.
And if you don't let the magic diminish, it doesn't diminish. You know what I mean? But you guys didn't do it. Why?
One, it was super early in the morning.
Okay. So timing. It wasn't Jose being like, no, I can't.
No, it was really early in the morning. And I think, after knowing each other for very, very many years and living together for very, very many years before getting married, we were like, oh, like this is like one kind of like more air quotes traditional thing that
we can do.
We can do that like really wouldn't be something that we would normally opt for. And I will say that all of my photos of me walking down the aisle just completely welled up. Sobbing. I can't even recall hearing the songs that we so purposefully chose.
Yep.
It was really overwhelming and really lovely.
Did you text at all? Any communication during the day?
No. Not before.
I didn't think about that, but you're right. There is a gap, like a tension.
Yeah.
Because you see your partner, you live with your partner, you see them all the time. So it is kind of bizarre to have that many hours on the most important day without that person. I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
And I also think that you can kind of think of like the family element a little differently too. Like it was really important for me to have time with my family before. And same for Jose, right? He wanted time with his parents and his sisters and the rest of our family members as well. And so we kind of had that like separate family time and then all of our families came together and that felt really special. But I do also think that there's something that makes your family feel really, really special or your friends really special whenever you get to have those moments, even before the ceremony.
Together before the guests arrive.
Right. Because for them, too, it's highly emotional. So there's pros and cons to each. Logistics is probably the biggest thing to consider.
I think I love a list. Make a pro list, make a con list, have a real conversation, Rachel, with your fiance. And whatever you do it with love and you'll have fun.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Don't forget to send your questions. Again, any questions, send them our way to hi@jovemeyer.com and maybe I will answer them on air. If you can, send a voice memo. I love to hear your voice.
Weddings-ish.
Thank you again for listening or watching Weddings-ish with Jove. If you liked today's episode, please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also super grateful to Mel Flannery for the music on the podcast. She created, produced, and designed all of the music. And don't forget, you can watch Weddings-ish with Jove on Love Stories TV, YouTube, or streaming TV channel. Visit lovestoriestv.com/live for the list of streaming apps.
Weddings-ish.